I don't know how this is gonna work.
Islam.
Islam.
First, I give praise to Allah and to His last prophet, Noble Drew Ali. I give honor to everything that is pertaining to Islam and the uplifting of fallen humanity. Welcome back to Girl Talk, Real Talk,
More talk.
Oh,
Our topic this evening is living in the now.
And we have our guest speaker with us today.
I'm sorry, yes. Our good sister from New York, Temple 21, Sister B. Williams-El, Islam sister.
Islam.
And we're so thankful for you to join us for this discussion. So like Sister Great said, our topic is living in and now. And a lot of people are like, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
And what we are trying to discuss, which I know a lot of us go through, of being stuck in the thoughts of our past, whether it's a bad experience or a way you used to live in the past, but also always focusing on the future, something that you have not attained yet. And when you focus on the past and the future, you're stuck and you're not really in the process of thinking of what you can create. Because as we know, you can only create in the moment that you have in your present state. And so what we want to do tonight is kind of break that thought down and hope that we can encourage you all to really focus on your thoughts and the way you're living your life and think about what you're thinking about and ensuring to yourself that you're living in the now and creating a good life for yourself.
Yes.
So just to get us started, just so our audience has even more deeper understanding, Sister Williams-El, if you can elaborate on what does it mean to be living in the now?
Islam. Praise Allah. Praise Allah. And I give honor to our moderator, Brother R. Jones Bay. As well as, of course, we gave honor to Allah, to our holy prophet. And now I'm saying our moderator also. What does it mean to be living in the now? This is a question that life is making us ask ourselves right now. What moment am I living in now? Because many of us don't have a clue. So we don't have a clue of what's going on. But my question to my own self earlier today was, living, how are you living? You know, living in it now, but how are you living? Are you living in the reality of being alive and living in a grateful way, that we've been blessed to still be upon the earth, to learn lessons of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice that we need to learn? Or are you living in a way where you think you have to survive? And survival is something that may have some perils behind it, some fear behind it. And if you are trying to just survive, like many of us were doing anyway, we're trying to survive because the world had us out there, not being mindful of anything around us, not our families, not our friends, not our co-workers, and truly, perhaps, not even the great creator, Allah, who created us. Because we were all trying to survive, to get that money, to get that house, to get that quote, 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 what they call the American dream. Well, no, we don't want the American dream. We want the dream of the creator, the dream that gives us salvation, the dream that gives us the good life. And what is the good life? The good life is merely love. That's the good life.
Yeah, and just for our viewers, what she's describing is one life versus the other. And one key thing to this conversation that we're having is when you're focused on living in the now, in your present moment, even if you lived a worldly life back then, or you're constantly thinking of things that you can attain moving forward, when you focus on the now, for me, you're presently in your now, you have a constant connection to God.
Yes.
God is always present. Allah is always available, but you can only make that connection in your now. I personally have never been in a thinking of a past situation, always stuck in the past, been truly able to really connect to that voice, to that thought, unless I'm currently asking for his assistance in that moment when I need it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I find is so important about really understanding what living in the now is, what is contained within that, meaning being present, being with Allah, and
Mm-hmm.
and being divinely guided in your moments of your life. And for me,
Yes.
my experience, I've only been able to do that when I'm focusing on the moment that I'm in right now. And so that's kind of why we developed the show, like living in the now, because there's so much understanding that you can get when you focus on your now.
Yes.
And Islam, and for me, you know, and I kind of always knew this, but it really came to light recently that sometimes, you know, because reflection is the business of man, you have to reflect, and sometimes you can't move. A person can't move forward if they haven't handled something from back then. It doesn't mean be stuck there. Just reflect and how you can make it better in your now, because we know that our future happiness depends on our present choices. So what good choices are we making now for future happiness? Well, sometimes those choices are to revisit the past so that we can have a happier future. And I remember before March 16, 2006, that I was surviving. I don't feel like I'm surviving now. I'm accommodating myself to the conditions that we're now in, opposed to surviving in now. And really, I'm living and I'm accommodating. I'm not stuck. Praise Allah. I ain't stuck no more.
You know,
Praise Allah.
When you think of that word surviving, I think when you think about surviving, you're forgetting that you're a creator.
Yes.
When you're living, like I'm living this life, I'm creating in these moments that Allah has blessed me with. In these moments, I'm creating something for the next moment to the next moment. And in the past, when I thought I was just surviving, I can let that go. That's the key of living in the now. You can let that go.
Because if you are just surviving, you've limited yourself.
You're limiting yourself. Those mistakes you did in the past, let them go.
But Islam, check out this thought right here. When we're living in the now, what type of now are you living in? Are you living in now of the figment of your imagination?
Right.
Or are you living in the now? Or are you living in the now of the delusion where you're so staunch that you don't want to let go what is not real? Or as the prophet talks about the delusion, the prophet talks about the misadventure.
Yeah.
So what are you living? What are we living in? When we're living in the now, for me, for Sister B. Williams Zeal, I'm cognitive of every moment that I'm experiencing in my space, my movement, my thoughts, my gratitude.
Right.
I try to be in the now. I try to be aware of the presence of Allah, God, our Holy Father, at all times. Living in the now gives me a certain sense of gratitude. Because many times in this journey, I'm surprised, and I give praise to Allah, that I'm still in the now. Because when you're true.
Yes,
we have cycles of life. Some have less than others. But what I've come to realize is, for all of us, perhaps we should contemplate the fact that when we live in the now, we are going to receive the present that Allah is giving to us, because we are in the present moment. If we go into the past, there are no presents really for us to receive in the past because we didn't accept them when they were there, if you can understand what I mean. And those cycle stages, like the prophet said, the time that was won't be no more. So those things that we had in the past, as our dear Sister Grear-El explained to us so eloquently, that yeah, they will help us. They will help us tremendously. But they will not, they may make us miss the present that we're supposed to get today. Yeah, because people get caught up in their minds. Yeah. And if you're caught up in your mind and you don't have what our prophet tells us to keep your heart and minds pure with love, you go in the past and you'll see all that other stuff of lower self, hatred, lewdness, murder, thefts, and everything that harms, and you might not be picking up higher self, the mother of virtues and the harmonious life that breeds justice, mercy, love, and right. And you'll get emotional pain, psychological pain, and pain that you don't need in the present.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I can think about a couple of times in my life that I made a mistake or you take a wrong turn. And then you're constantly thinking about the mistake you made, and you're thinking about the woulda, couldas, or what if this could have happened. And you're thinking about all these things in a moment that if you just clean that slate, you can create something that doesn't even, yes. that don't even, it don't even matter what you did in your past, how you lived or what you did. You have met God. He has introduced himself to you. You joined the Moorish Science Temple of America, and he's given you
best thing.
Yeah, and you're presently in his presence.
Yes.
That's what I be thinking about. Like, yes. Your mistake does not matter. Create a new one.
That's right.
Create something new.
That's right. Say something new.
And the prophet says in so many makes, make a speedy reparation. Stop worrying about what you did back then. Make a speedy reparation and move on.
And if you find yourself there, we have the lessons that tells us
not today.
Get out of there. One of the few of the brothers would at the temple would catch you dazing, and they would say, "Get out of there." So I tell myself, "Get out of there. Wherever you're going, it ain't healthy for you now. Get out of there." Every time, and I saw somewhere, with every unhealthy thought, try to replace it with 3 healthy thoughts, or 3 things that make you smile, or bring about a harmonious feeling to yourself, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
It's time. It's time, but remember this too. It's almost like a paradox. When our minds are trying to take us where we really don't want to go. Because our prophet was telling us, and this is what I love. I love this. I love this battle right here, where the prophet says, without a foe, a soldier never knows his strength. And thought must be, how does he say it? And thought must be developed by the exercise of strength. And so this cardinal nature soon became a foe that man must fight, that he might be the strength of Allah made manifest. Now that's the beauty of that is, yeah, we have to fight that part of ourselves that come up, that foe that wants us to linger in the murk and the mire, in the perils. But the beauty of it is that we have to fight it because it's going to give us strength, because we're here to be the strength of Allah made manifest, because this is what the world needs. The world needs to see the sisters especially being the strength of Allah made manifest, so that they can know that we have to work for, and we have to strive for the higher self-consciousness of being the mother of virtues and executing the mercy, love, and right. So I don't look at the foe I don't look at it like it's a dredge. I look at it like, oh, really? I look at it like David and Goliath.
Right.
No, you're not getting me, because we're on a mission, or I'm on a mission.
Yeah. So
to prove, what did Jesus say? To prove the possibilities of man.
Possibilities.
Yeah.
what we're here for. But I kind of wanted to elaborate out for our viewers to kind of talk about if we can give examples of what is some of the things that you go through that make it difficult for you to live in the now. What makes it difficult to be in that moment where you know only good in your present moment? If you choose, only good can be created in that at that point, if you choose. But what keeps us from doing that?
Your thoughts.
Your thoughts.
Because some people don't know. And before I came into the More Science Type of Love America, I didn't realize that I was a creator and I could either make a hell for myself on earth or heaven for myself. It's all the way I think and my perception of things. Not everyone has that, right? So praise Allah that we heard the prophet and we're able to now help ourselves and heal ourselves and be in the present and only reflect in the past and not get stuck there, but so that it can allow us to have a more harmonious future. And it is your thoughts that keep you
stagnant. Yeah, stagnant.
You have to it's about raising your thoughts.
Yeah,
it's really about just raising your thoughts. Know that you can have peace with absolutely
with nothing to interfere in that.
Yeah.
And just understanding that you create that peace, and you can't create it dwelling on things that you did in the past, whether they're bad or good or whatever, and you can't dwell on it by focusing on the future, which you haven't even reached at. You create your happiness in the moment that you're in. We in this moment right now. I feel good. I got my sister here. Can I carry that to the next moment?
Islam.
Can we get along to the next moment? Yes, we can.
Islam.
Example. Of course, I used to worry about everything. Right? and I mean everything.
Everything.
Everything. Them, him, you, me, what you thinking, what you ate. I hadn't even ate yet, but I'm worried about what you didn't ate, and I had to tell myself to stop. First, I did a lot of begging and pleading to Allah, literally. For about 2 years, I did a lot of begging and pleading to Allah to
praise Allah,
to ease my heart and to lift the weight off my shoulders, and please give me some real peace. And I looked up one day and I had real peace. Now, it came because I really wanted it. Now, how did I have to obtain real peace? I had to stop worrying about everything. I cannot say I trust in Allah, but always in the mix, always got my hand and stuff, trying to make it better instead of just trusting the process. Do what you can and let Allah do the rest, Nikki. So I said, and like just a year ago, I had never been so broke financially and so happy at the same time. And I couldn't believe it. And people would say, how you broke but happy? I said, perception.
Yeah.
What we got?
Got a question from the audience though. Can it be hard to stay present?
No,
it can be hard to stay present.
Yes.
True.
Yeah.
What are some ways to stay in the now?
Islam.
Islam says.
What I found is important and helpful to me in staying in the now is, first of all, I'm minding my own business. First of all, I'm not trying to pull somebody's weeds, as our holy and divine prophet has told us. Because what I did was I started to examine myself by listening to myself, but also listening to others. And so in the course of a now, I'm going to say it like this day, I would say to myself, well, how many hours did you spend on your own self, in your own business? Or how many hours did you spend on someone else's business, in your thought, talking, gossiping, whatever, minding their business? And then I would calculate it during the day. So at the end of the day, I would say, oh, I didn't give myself too much time because I gave it all over to whoever I was thinking about. And when I started thinking in those ways in my younger years, when I started thinking in those ways, it seemed like it brought me within myself, my own consciousness. What are you doing in just a period of a 24-hour day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important too. And that takes us to the lesson where the prophet is talking about pulling another person's weeds. And you also have to be careful with the company that you keep. Because sometimes the company that you keep will definitely pull you out of your now. And now you're in their drama. So I always ask myself, wait a minute, let's stop. That's not my drama. That's your drama.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will remove myself from their drama to get into mine. Mind your business.
You said this. You said it. If you spend 12 hours minding your business and another 12 leaving other people's business alone, you'll be all right. You said that.
Yeah. What I learned and learning more of is a key of just being conscious.
Yes.
Being conscious of what you're thinking about. Again, what you said, Sister Williams-Yale, of who and what you surround yourself with. So for me, I'm one person that when I do something, I always go back like, oh, did I do that right? Did I do that right? I had to stop doing that.
Yes.
I'm also a person that I love daydreaming. I really like daydreaming, imagining, and then I had to stop doing that. And so in the process of me understanding, like, you got to learn how to create things in your moment. And if you're trying to be connected to Allah, then you need to work on being in your moment. So the things that I've done to achieve that, which I have achieved it in some ways, was just really meditation, but really focusing on what I'm thinking about and talking to myself. There's been times when I'd be like, okay, you're going to think about this now. This is what you're going to do now. Really telling yourself and guiding yourself. And I think that's the only way I've learned to stay in my now is telling this is what you're going to do. Like really taking control, using your soul and taking control and guiding your spirit in the direction that you want it to go.
Mm-hmm.
And you do that in every moment of your life. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one way that I've learned to really focus on my now is just being present in your thought.
Mm-hmm. You know, that's very beautiful because that is very true. And when I'm really focusing on my now at this level in my life, and I'm taking my divine instruction from the great holy prophet, and the prophet tells us that, you know how he says, this, I'm going to say it just the way he says it. This age will comprehend but little of the works of purity and love, but not a word is lost. You know how he says that?
Yeah.
For in the book of Allah's remembrance, right? A registry is made of every thought and word and deed. Now, remember back in the day, perhaps before we came into the movement, we would say we had an angel on the right and an angel on the left. Remember? And you would, maybe you don't, because you're all, little babies. In my little eyes sometimes. But maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe the audience does, maybe the audience doesn't. But we have a registry that is being made. And I keep that in mind because we're all accountable for our actions. So that keeps me in the presence of my now also. It keeps me thinking about should I or should I not, but it also takes me to the level of where Prophet Jesus, if I may say, when he was with the multitudes, may I say that? Yes, I can. When he was with the multitudes, and when they said he was obsessed, he was insane, he spoke as devils speak. But what did he do? He had a certain type of equipoise about himself in that now moment that he just stepped aside and he didn't say anything. So in order to protect ourselves in that now moment, there are times when we have to ask ourselves, the drama that Allah have created, is that portion of it, do I have a part in that script? If I don't, then I should not even respond. And it's a protection of knowing when and where and should I, which is when, respond.
Or don't respond at all. But
Absolutely.
right? The next question we have is, would you say it is possible to harness the energy from your positive experiences from the past, I'm going to assume, to utilize during challenging experiences?
Say that again, please.
So it's saying, would you say it's possible to harness energy from past positive experience you've had and utilize them during challenging experiences?
Yes.
Yes, I would think so.
I call putting it on the shelf for later.
Yeah, I think that's why it's so important to examine and reflect as you're going through life. And I remember, I think our Grand Sheik said it, like, you can examine, you can reflect, and you can go back there, but make sure whatever you bring back up here, that it's worth using.
Islam.
You understand? Like, bringing something that ain't anything. Like, that's why it's so important to be conscious.
That's right.
So when you go back there and revisit those places, that past experiences, that whatever you're bringing with you is, godly thoughts, because that's all you need to move forward. All that other stuff, you just need to leave it back there.
Islam, that's very true, because our prophet has told us, and we know from our experiences, just as you were saying, that, we are ancient, and it's not the first time that we've been here. So our prophet has shown us and told us that we are reincarnated forces, and that truth is but one, and doubts are of our own raising. And our prophet explained to us, because we have to have reasoning to even have this conversation. Our prophet has let us know that there are two things in the world: truth and falsehood. And falsehood, which seems to be Allah, God, the Father, whatever anyone calls the Almighty, is truth, because truth cannot change or pass away. So that's the only thing that we have in our real world of things, our inner self world, is truth, because it's not going to change or pass away. So yes, we can reflect and pull out all the truth to continue on our journey.
It's in that reflection that you find where you were being your higher self and when you were being your lower self. And when you were in your higher self, you manifested something that you should carry with you, because it's going to help you in your next moment. Right. But there was a point you was in your lower self too, that you probably should just leave that over there. You probably need to change that behavior. You probably need not go over there. And that kind of brings us to the next question that we have from the audience. It says, the now involves both the high and the low, higher self and the lower self.
Oh my gosh, hold on. My battery.
But isn't the choice you make at the moment the determining factor of either the high or the low? Mm-hmm. And every moment, I believe you're making a choice. And in that choice, that's why it's so important to be conscious, to really understand, are you in your high, are you in your low? And sometimes you may think you're in your high, but you're in your low, but you can always determine that, make a speedy reparation. But how can you figure out where you at? Is looking at the results.
Exactly.
And how they are affecting not only you, but how they are affecting others. And if so, then that's a determining factor. It's like, okay, I was in that moment, I made an error. Let me make a speedy reparation, because it did not produce the results based on my intent.
And even if it doesn't produce the results that you think it should have produced, when you reflect at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, well, is what I've done in this day pleasing to Allah? And if you know it's not pleasing to Allah, then there you go. Ask for forgiveness for it. Think of a way to not allow that thing to creep back in your next moment.
Right.
But listen, also, that is absolutely real. But remember, what makes us so blessed in this era of time is we have been given the great holy prophet to let us know, Noble Drew Ali, to let us know what that is. What self is that? Higher self? No one else was telling us this. No one else was telling us we had a higher self and a lower self. So our brothers and sisters who are listening, they need to know that you have a higher self. You have two selves. The higher self that breathes justice, mercy, love, and right. And you have the lower self that breathes hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, and everything that harms. There was no one to tell us this. But when we come to that level that our holy prophet has told us, see, we got the message. We got the handwriting on the wall. And so our brothers and sisters should give ear to this conversation that we're having, because who is telling you about your two selves?
Right. Okay.
Because that lower self, the semblance of truth, can make you think that you're in higher self and you're nowhere near it. But you don't have a clue because no one gave you the dialogue of it, the prescription of it, except our prophet, Noble Drew Ali. And this is why we are allowed to have such a beautiful program as a conversation piece right now. It's beautiful because, look, praise Allah, praise Jehovah, praise whomever you praise that is higher self, because everyone has a name for Allah, the creator, the father of the universe.
Yes.
Praise the Most High, because we have to know these things, because the prophet said the world is wrong and Allah is right. The prophet is right.
Can't say anything else after that. So one of our next questions is.
I couldn't either. My mind was going.
So the next question is, are you saying that the now is a form of self-love?
Oh, yes. It could be.
Depending on what you're creating.
It depends on what you're creating. That's right.
I was kind of thinking like,
and real quick, because some people think self-love is creating this discord for someone else. So you still have to be thinking about what self are you in when you're creating, because some people think self-love is selfishness.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So when I think of like living in the now, what it means to me, I think self-love is included in that, but it's all about being conscious in the moment and making conscious decisions based off of the source, the Quran, Allah, the Prophet, the instructions that we've been given. So us as Moorish Americans, my opinion, would be like living in the now is being conscious. You know, it says, know thyself and thy Father God Allah. Having understanding in your moment as you're making these decisions. Living in the now is, to me, when we thought about the topic, it's supposed to be something that's you're celebrating. I'm here. I have arrived. I'm living in the now. I'm having godly thoughts. I'm doing godly things. I'm raising my vibrations. Right. I'm living.
That's right.
Like I'm living.
That's right.
And that's what, to me, that's what living in the now is. Like you are fully engulfed in Allah's love and you see him, you feel him, he's guiding you. Doesn't happen all the time, but you get what I'm saying. But, and you're constantly becoming disciplined enough to always focus on that thought.
That's all.
And for me, I'm finding ways to do that. When I wake up, I have to pray. When I wake up, I have to meditate. When I wake up, I got to tell myself, what are you thinking about? this is what you're going to do today. And this is how you're going to feel.
That's
There's
right.
nothing to be sad about. There's sometimes, it's weird. I'll wake up and you feel like not as happy as you thought you should. Like, I'd be like, ugh. And I'd be asking myself, like, why do I feel like that? Nothing has happened to me to have that feeling. So you got to wake that spirit up. You got to wake up your higher self. And to me, that's what I think is living in the now, being conscious, knowing the foes you're going to have to fight and not being scared or doubtful to fight them.
Sometimes say, girl, not today.
Not today. You
Yeah,
know, today.
And the difference is we are living and not surviving or existing. You
We're
know,
creative,
and I find myself with so much gratitude living in the now. And I'm talking about the simplest thing of finding the pair of socks that I wanted to wear right when I opened the drawer. Thank you, Allah, because you know, although time is an illusion, the clock is ticking. I'm trying to get somewhere. Thank you, Allah. You know, the most simplest thing. Someone said something to you that you didn't know about, and you would have went on with another thought had they not come about, and you're like, thank you for, you know, letting me know that. And then you thank Allah for sending that person your way with that information. That's just me anyway.
Just being thankful,
Grateful
for
all that.
Yeah,
that's living in the now.
We were 8 years ago, just being thankful for what Allah has bestowed upon us and being able to really learn how to utilize it, how to employ it in our lives, to say that I'm actually living. Like, I don't have nothing close to the material things that I had 8 months ago. But this is the first time I can say that I'm really living a happy life.
You find it is not
find that connecting yourself to materialistic things, you have to have this, you got to have a house, you got to own a car, you got to have all this money, you got to have a savings, you got to have these things may come helpful in your life. But when you put so much emphasis on them that they determine how you're living your life, then you have to understand that you're either chasing something, so you're going towards the future, or you're doubting yourself based on what you've created in the past, and you're bringing those past experiences with you when you had to be happy by having stuff.
And it's okay to want those things, but to know that those things are not going to make you happy. Only you can do that. Now, if and the way to realize that is, without those things, will you be happy?
Those things ain't gonna make you happy. The only thing that's gonna make you happy is how you employ them.
Right.
The only thing that's gonna make you happy is having a righteous mind and knowing and learning how to use it righteously and godly. From experience, I honestly feel if you don't have that, I think you're gonna have some trouble with being happy.
For instance, you get a car and you forget that you needed a ride a whole lot of times, and you be like, I ain't let nobody ride in my car. You done lost sight. You done lost sight of the blessing. You're able to be a blessing to someone now who is where you just were not too long ago. You better let them in and don't be asking for no gas money.
Well, you know, our prophet tells us, and we know, to view at our devotions.
Yeah.
And it's very important to view it at the devotion. You know what I'm saying? To view. What are you devoted to? You know, because if we're devoted to the Most High, God, Allah, if we're devoted to that, then the instructions that we study become a part, as the prophet says, and we know, hammer it in so it becomes a part of every part. Because we don't have the material possessions that we had in abundance, perhaps it was taken away because, you know, there's a divine instruction that says, the man to whom Allah had given riches and blessed with a mind to employ them aright is peculiar favor and highly distinguished. Now, let's say in the past, you got your riches, or we all got riches, the world got riches, thinking that, oh, I'm all that. I gave it to myself. And then selfishness, avarice, and all of that came into play. You know what I'm saying? Because the glory wasn't going to the giver of the gift. And in that, we can have the abundance as we've been instructed, and you don't know what to do with it. Yeah. So maybe everyone was getting too haughty, too vain, too greedy. And we're in this position so that we can go within and see the real reality of who gave us everything. But you know, the other side can do, the illusion can do many things too. But when we have that in our heart, to realize that we're walking in a path that Allah have opened up before thee. And so he's telling us when we're walking in that path, another part of our being in the now is not to dare stoop to evil or to meanness. You know, so that when we're creating whatever it is that we are creating, then we know that it is that the line that unites divinity and matter within us. So then we have to choose, because our own choice can give it to us entirely. Whatever we get, pain, happiness, joy, sorrow, it's going to all come. It's not going to stop, because it's the world and the experiences that we live in, but we have choice. And who are we serving? Who is our devotion to?
Yeah. I got a question from our audience, and it was, how do you guard yourself from irresolution when living in the now?
Oh, wow. Read that instruction. That's the greatest instruction that the prophet could ever give to anybody living in the now right now. Because I know when it took me almost, trust me when I tell you, brothers and sisters and audience, it took me almost a good 10 years to understand what one sentence, one divine instruction that the prophet gave on that. And it was a brother who was on the podium that explained it, and it was like a light bulb went off in my mind, my soul, and I'm like, oh. And after I understood it, then I started practicing it, and everything was just beautiful. You know what the prophet says? Beware of irresolution. That one, he says, beware of irresolution in the intent of thy actions. Beware of instability in the execution. So shall thou triumph over two great failings of thy nature. Who knows that that's a failing? You know, the prophet, everything that we know. And the prophet said, what reproaches reasons more than to act contraries? What can suppress the tendencies to these but firmness of mind? You have to have firmness of mind. We have to become resolute. We can't be scattered all over the place thinking we're going to get something done when nothing is going to get done, because our mind can't handle going all over the place. It has to be fixed on the firmness of mind. And that's how we can deal with that irresolution.
Yeah, I agree. I was reading that it says, the man who neglected his present concerns to revolve how to behave when greater, feedeth himself with wind while his bread is eaten by another.
Yes.
Act as becometh thee in thy present station, and more exalted ones, thy face shall not be ashamed.
That's real. Praise the Lord.
Irresolution, I automatically, when I think I'm about to go there, I think of focusing. What is your focal point? What are your present concerns?
That's right.
Those and handle those first, and trust that God is going to guide you to the next moment. So to me, it's just like being firm in your decision and being disciplined and being focused. And then that's how you get resolution, being firm. But understand that there are going to be some foes and there's going to be some challenges. You know, it's just like when you're walking in through the battle legions, in reference to chapter 41.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to encounter those, but you must be resilient.
Yes.
You must be strong-minded. Like you said, you must be firm.
Firmness of mind. Yes.
It's key.
But I have a question.
Ooh, okay.
I have a question. What the viewers, you may have some viewers that don't really understand the concept of God, of Allah. However, the higher self is in every one of us. The spirit is in every one of us. So we all have to realize that whatever resonates with you, whether it's Allah, Buddha, Confucius, Jesus, Muhammad, etc., etc., it could be some other enlightened soul to the audience. Just take the good, follow the instructions of higher self, and all will be well, because we are allotted virtues in various stations. So allotted virtues in various stations, we're all unfolding as the bud unfolds to show the flower.
Okay, I have a question. And it is appreciation and gratitude enough to be happy?
Excuse me, say that again.
Is appreciation and gratitude enough to be happy?
I think so.
I think if you're appreciating, if
Yes.
you're appreciating something and you have gratitude, it's for a reason.
Yes.
It's not just out the air. There's reasons that people are grateful and have appreciation. And it can be something so very small to others, but humongous to the individual themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Appreciation and gratitude to me is a liken to love. Love. That's just me, Sister B. Williams Hill. I know my parent always told me to be grateful to whatever anyone does for you, or to be grateful for what you can do for someone, but also, and to have gratitude that you have you've been given that type of virtue, because everyone doesn't have that virtue. And because we all have whatever virtues we don't have them all, but whatever virtue or potency or attribute that Allah had given us, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think appreciation and gratitude, it does lead to happiness, and obviously a knowledge of self and a knowledge of Allah.
Mm-hmm.
I just always go back to many times that the work that we do for the Moorish Science Temple of America, how we're able to manifest in action the words of the Prophet. I mean, that's our gratitude and our appreciation for what he has done for us. And I mean, I personally just feel overjoyed, even that day, that I have, a gift that I can contribute to my nation.
Yes.
Just being able to say, I have a gift that I can contribute to my nation. I can raise my people up. If that don't make you happy, and that all comes from appreciation and gratitude, then there's happiness in that. But it's all about fixing your heart, cleaning your heart, purifying, turning away from sin. All those things add up to appreciation and gratitude. So, those are my thoughts.
So sister, we can also add on too. Appreciation and gratitude equals sincerity.
Yes.
Islam. Yes.
Sis, and I must say they are loving you on the chat. Praise Allah.
Praise Allah.
They saying she's on fire and they calling you by name. I mean, you all through here, sister.
Praise Allah.
Praise Allah.
Oh, you about to be famous. You're such a superstar already.
You know, if we, you know, let me tell you a story. Let me tell everyone a story. Our prophet, Noble Ali, is the greatest gift that Allah could have given to us.
Wow.
And those who don't accept the presence of him, or the presence, the unseen presence of him, or the present of our consciousness, the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, as we said, the great, holy, and divine nation. You know, sometimes you get weak along the way, but don't let go of the gospel plow, because I'll tell you, this is what I know from experience. We could get weak along the way and kind of fall by the wayside, and we'll have brothers and sisters who may not have understood or say, oh, I don't speak that language. And Lord self will try to pull you off the path because it's powerful, it's glorious, it's supreme. Yeah. And the very same person that is trying to pull you away, what? You'll be standing outside the gate and they'll be sitting in your seat looking at you. And that's a true thing. That's very true. And that's why no matter what, because Allah said when we're serving Allah who speaks within the heart, see, this is what makes us grand and holy. And this is my mantra. This is me. This is who Sister B. Williams EO is, regardless of what it looks like. If you would serve Allah who speaks within the heart, then serve your kin, your near kin, the stranger at your gate, the foe who seeks to do you harm. Do harm to none and cover what is not yours, because then with your tongue, then with your tongue, the Holy One will speak, and he will smile behind your tears and light your countenance up with joy and peace. Who doesn't want that?
I know, right?
I do. To be the mouthpiece of Allah, to be deified with Allah, to fight the foe so that we can stand up and serve humanity, because humanity needs to see us, whether we're on YouTube or no tube, but we're in humanity, walking through the battle ranges with thunder and lightning over our head. Excuse me, brothers and sisters, for not saying it the way the prophet has said it straight up. But we're talking to others also, and you know what? But yeah, it's all the joy. It's all the joy. It is. And to be in the now and raise your children up and your friends, and don't worry about the ones who we've been saying Allah to for 10, 15 years. Trust me. One day, oh, the joy will come and they will say, oh, you know, Allah was really helping me out. Oh, really? And they will say it, Allah. Give them some remedies. And they'll say, sister, you got any more of those remedies? Mm-hmm. They help me out so much. Mm-hmm. Because everything in our world is real. And why is everything in our world real? Because we're not living, or we should not be living from the out world. We're not here, we're not showboating, we're not for show. We get our messages from the inner plane, where our holy and divine prophet Noble Ali is. He said, I'm helping you more on the soul plane. Something like that, I paraphrase it. Someone help me out. Even who's over on the chat. Even on the soul plane, the prophet is helping us out on the unseen world. What do we have to fear? We just have to obey and love each other, love the prophet. That's it. Love humanity. That's it. Yeah. That's all we have to do.
So we got,
and of course, love ourselves, because ourself is what? Who is ourself? Allah made manifest. Mm-hmm. Allah, a part of Allah made manifest. Don't let me get haughty. A part, Allah, because you know, Allah said Allah is one, yet he is more than one.
Islam is all.
Yeah. Yeah, our faces should be beaming like the light, unlike the light of the sun. Jesus, Prophet Noble Drew Ali in this era of time now. We talking about spirit.
Our last question. I'm going to do our
Oh.
last question, and we're going to use this question to kind of close out.
Okay.
This is something we all can answer. What tool in the workshop of the mind do you find yourself using the most when you're living in your now?
When you what? In your what?
When you're living in your now. When you're living in your now. What tool are you using from the workshop of the mind? So basically it's just saying, what tool are you presently using right now?
I like the hammer, because if you can beat me upside my head with that hammer and I come out with truth, then beat me all day long. Because the prophet said, and we know, I know, hammering the truth so it becomes a part of every part. And when you hammer in that truth, because it becomes a part of every part, you are praising Allah. You're praising Allah. We have come to a level of one with Allah. But you don't know you one with Allah. I'm not saying you don't know that you're one with Allah, but there's a great beauty in having a character of unassuming. Or what the prophet says, others see you when you don't see yourself, or when you see yourself not.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Because we're here for one cause, to represent our Father God Allah. And to represent our Father God Allah on this particular program as being humanity, where Allah, the prophet, is holding us up. Because this is not of our own accord. We are being held up. And all humanity that comes through the living soul of the woman principle, the feminine principle, come and join the Moorish Science Temple of America. All you Asiatics of America, come and join the Moorish Science Temple of America, so that you will see the glory and the energy, the supreme energy that Allah permeates to every pore of our physical body. But what he does for our soul is like, if I could just convey the bliss that Allah bestows upon us. But it's not easy, because you got to study yourself.
Grear-El?
Well,
I'm so honored to be with you all. Oh my gosh.
You know we love being around you, so.
I love being around you. I love being around you. I love our people. I love our nation. So, excuse me, Sister Grear.
No, that's fine. You on fire. I feel
Oh,
it.
hold it. You know how they used to do? You got that cane, and just pull your cane out and pull me out.
Man. But sometimes I feel like a real handyman, because I need a few tools all at the same time. But right now, I'm using my axe to cut away the useless and ungainly parts of my life. And that will be some thoughts that I may hold. Some ways I have become accustomed to being. I don't want to really, because we have run out of time, I'm not going to really dig all the way into it, but sometimes we think what we're doing is a good thing, but we are causing ourselves harm in the process. And I have to stop doing that.
We all do.
So I'm picking up the axe on a regular. Well, I picked up the axe on a regular. I'm using it just about every day lately, and yeah, smoothing it right on out.
Islam, may I say something?
Of
Sure.
course.
Thank you. What I, you know, what honestly, what I've seen is, and I'm sure the audience is seeing it also, Sister Grear-El, you're a beautiful soul. You have a beautiful light about yourself.
Thank you.
And you know what? Trust me, I don't flatter.
Thank you, sister.
I'm not flattering you. I'm just saying that as long as you loving Allah and you're doing the work that we were called to do, that right there, throw it away. Throw that away.
Throw it away.
I'm not saying get vain. I'm not saying that, because the gems are in our heart. Just open it up and look at your treasures, the gems that within there. Forget that other stuff.
That's right, sis.
That's living in the now.
Yes,
That's
sis.
living in the now.
That's right.
Praise God. Oh,
What tools you using, sis?
me, the tools that I am currently using would be the plane,
Ooh.
the hammer. So I am smoothing out some stuff because, you know, for me, I can feel, you know, he's in me. I'm feeling the connection, but I still got some rough edges that I need to smooth out. And I still have a lot of work with hammering the truth. But what I have learned up till now, I'm really incorporating it in my everyday life and really focusing on the moment and roughing out and smoothing out those edges and really doing some reflection and some examination of how I can make my life better than what it is today for tomorrow.
It's on.
Yes. Can our conditions be better? May I say something? I want to say something truthful.
Yes.
This is in the world of things, the end of this quote year. Hopefully we will still be living. But today, the test came to me today and I failed it terribly. And I was saying to myself, no, not now, honey. Anyway, you can still hear me, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And I was saying to myself, wow, how did I fail that test? And you know how I failed the test? Because when I was being told that well, who does she think she is? Or you think you all that? And, you know, I didn't do what Jesus did. And that came into my mind. You didn't do what Jesus told you to do. You didn't do what the prophet told you to do. You're going to fight the foe, fight the battle. You're going to fight the battle. I should have just stepped aside. And I didn't step aside, but it just lets me know that there's still enough work for me to do, still enough study for me to do on myself. But what it made me say to myself is how the prophet said, my Lord self is strong. Do I have the strength? No, my Lord self is strong. By many tides I am bowed down to cardinal self. So I thought I had that really in check. But sometimes your unravelness comes apart by those who are close to you. And I'm like, wow, I couldn't believe it. And I was saying to myself, I'm glad that I didn't have to leave this earth at this time on that note.
It's on.
You know, yes, because that's the consciousness that we have to realize in the now. What do you want your mind? Because the prophet said, labor not after riches first and think that thou afterwards will enjoy them. He who neglected the present moment with all that he had, as the warrior knew not. We're divine warriors. We're soldiers of our prophet, of Allah. We're in the company of Allah. We're in Allah's army, so to speak. As the warrior knew not, the arrow was coming. You know, Lord, self going to and fro to earth. Yeah. Seeking him whom he may devour, and his life be taken away before you knew you had it. You got to know you got life in the present moment. It'll be taken away. And when it's time to go, you'll be saying, wow, Allah was real. The prophet was real. Everything of truth was real. And I'm fooling around. No, the present moment. Stay focused.
Focused. Well,
Focus.
let's. It's now 8:07. Our show has come to an end.
Oh my gosh. Praise the Lord.
Thank you so much, Sister Bill Williams-Gill, for joining us this evening.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Always. And we pray that we were able to provide some information to our viewers about living in the now, and that you were able to get something that you could learn from, and that
Yes.
could guide you into making a better condition for yourself.
Also, let the audience know, you because I know you get likes and you get dislikes. So if you got some dislikes, let me know, because I'm still trying to grow.
Praise Allah. So for our viewers, we are always open to hearing your feedback. So especially on our show. So make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you leave a comment. We would love to hear from you, what you like about the show, what you didn't like about the show. We're always interested in improving our content and things of that nature. I also want to let you know, as you know, that we are entering into Holy Month.
Yes.
Right. The month
Allah.
our Prophet Noble Drew Ali was born, which was January 8th, 1886. And we are celebrating all month long.
All month.
So we definitely ask you to join us in those celebrations, which will be streamed for the first time in history. We will have a virtual Holy Month celebration all month on our national Facebook page. So please stay tuned.
Here's a lot.
Look. On here, we will be showcasing all of our shows: Girl Talk, Real Talk, Moorish Talk, Universal Love, and also the All-Seeing Eye. And you already know we will have our Friday meetings and our Sunday schools that we hope that everyone can attend and participate. But yeah, and we just give honor to everybody.
Yeah, I personally want to give honors to everyone who displayed warmth and affection on behalf of me losing my dad, and for my family, the Moors in Philadelphia and New York, right here in DC and Baltimore, and everywhere. Everyone who has personally reached out to me, whether it was with a phone call, a high thought, even financially, I truly, 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 truly appreciate you. You Moors really, really practice chapter 25. Thank you so much.
We love you, Grear-El.
I love you right back.
What was chapter 25?
The Holy Covenant of the Asiatic Nation.
There we go. Praise the Lord.
Praise God. Well, thank you to all our viewers for tuning in. We hope to see you in the next 2 weeks. Oh, we are changing our format. I almost forgot to mention. So we are adding new sisters permanently as co-hosts on our show. We have Sister Elberry Bay. We have Sister A. Ravanoff Bay. We have Sister T. Hopkins Bay. We have Sister T. Britt Bay. So we have
Sister
a whole
Bay. Yes.
Yeah, we have a whole little. We have a crew. So
Praise
you
the Lord.
always see us side by side for the future shows.
She's going home.
Not always. Yeah.
But we hope that with this new format that we'll be able to share with you new topics, new perspectives, and really show you what sisterhood looks like. So
Islam.
we love you, appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks.
Moorish New Year.